There's a strong association in women in particular with sweat and hormonal changes.
Welcome to Women's Health and Longevity by Seneca Women, presented in partnership with P&G and Walgreens. We're living in an age of scientific breakthroughs. Technology, AI, and medical advancements are ushering in a whole new era of health and longevity. But what does that really mean for women's health? We're here to talk to experts about women's health from every angle, and we're here to demystify the science of health and suggest easy, practical things we can all do that may help us live healthier, happier, and longer. Today we're tackling a question that impacts all women. Why am I sweating so much? To learn about this topic and what we can do about it, I'm here with Dr. Koffler. So first, why do you say we should look at sweat as something positive in our lives?
So sweat is one of the many functions that the body performs, and we have to appreciate that the body has a wisdom, and in sweating, one of the dominant things that it's doing is to regulate temperature within the body, which is very important. It allows cells to function optimally.
So let's break it down then. What is sweat exactly? And of course we know that there's more than one kind of sweat.
Sweat is mainly water. It's the dominant minerals in there are salt. There are other minerals that are excreted in sweat. There are proteins, there are fats. There are all kinds of products that the body is getting rid of when we sweat.
Why is there sometimes an odor when we sweat?
The glands that are associated with a hair follicle tend to have a greater preponderance of bacteria. And when bacteria metabolize those products that are in sweat, they can release an odor. And that's what people describe when they're experiencing a quality of body odor.
And we know that sweat happens at different stages of life, perhaps more often, and it changes a lot in women's lives. We talk a lot about hot flashes when people are going through menopause. What's going on there?
Yeah, there's a strong association in women in particular with sweat and hormonal changes. So women will notice very often that there's changes in their sweating associated with their periods, particularly the latter half of their cycles. They often experience more sweat. And certainly around menopause, as much as 80% of women will experience hot flashes. And those hot flashes can last anywhere from seconds to as long as 30 minutes.
What's interesting, 80% is a pretty large number, a pretty large percentage. So it seems like it's a fairly normal thing to have happen throughout your life. I know oftentimes we feel uncomfortable with the fact that we're sweating more or less than we're used to, but it seems to be a pretty normal biological state.
Absolutely. As estrogen levels decline, they have an effect widespread throughout the body, and one of those effects is to activate sweating.
So what can we do when we're feeling that we feel like we're sweating too much or we're uncomfortable with the odor of our sweat? What can we do?
First, you want to make sure that you're hydrating well, and to remember that this is the body's way of regulating itself. There are a variety of things, for instance, with hot flashes that we'll use, some natural remedies that we can use. There is acupuncture that we can use to help treat. Certain foods will make sweating worse, so caffeine has been shown to make sweating worse. Onions and garlic will often make the odor more profound.
Interesting.
And then, of course, self-care practices that will help reduce the odor that results.
Our main takeaway is that sweating is normal. It's good for us. It happens to everybody at different stages of life, and of course women in midlife tend to experience it more. But there are things we can do, whether it's natural remedies, whether it's hydration, what we eat, and of course we can manage the odor through all different kinds of methods, deodorant obviously, an antiperspirant. So we're grateful for the conversation and to understand a little bit more about why we sweat and how it can be good. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Here are my top takeaways. First, don't sweat the sweat. Sweating is perfectly normal and even beneficial. Second, what we eat and drink can have an impact, so it's important to stay hydrated. Lastly, to manage sweat and odor, consider a good deodorant or antiperspirant. For more on this, visit our partner at secret.com. This episode of Women's Health and Longevity is brought to you by P&G and Walgreens, helping women find the right solutions for their changing needs. For more information, visit walgreens.com/women's-wellness.